Yes, you heard that right. Cloning. A concept that has captivated our imaginations for decades. From the silver screen to the laboratory, cloning has sparked both awe and apprehension. Is it merely a figment of science fiction, or has it already become a tangible reality? Today we're going to delve into the science behind cloning, separating fact from fiction. We'll explore its potential benefits and grapple with the ethical dilemmas it presents. And by the end, I have one question for you. Would you want a clone of yourself? Let's find out the truth. When we talk about cloning in pop culture, it's impossible not to mention Jurassic Park. This iconic film brought dinosaurs back to life from fossilized DNA, capturing the imaginations of millions. Picture this, a theme park teeming with prehistoric creatures, brought back from extinction through the marvels of cloning. It's a thrilling concept, no doubt, but scientifically speaking, it's more fiction than fact. You see, DNA degrades over time, and even with the most advanced technology, reconstructing a complete dinosaur genome from ancient fragments is highly improbable, bordering on impossible. So, while the idea of a T-Rex chasing after us in a theme park is the stuff of cinematic brilliance, it's best confined to the realm of science fiction. But don't worry, the reality of cloning, as we'll soon discover, is just as fascinating. Let's shift our focus to another thought-provoking film, The Island, which presents a dystopian future where clones are created as living, breathing organ banks for their human counterparts. This chilling narrative raises profound ethical questions about the value we place on human life, especially when it comes to artificially created beings. It forces us to confront the potential consequences of exploiting clones solely for their biological material. However, it's important to remember that The Island, while compelling, takes dramatic liberties with scientific accuracy. The idea of perfectly compatible organ donors readily available on demand simplifies the complexities of organ transplantation and immune rejection. The human body, you see, is incredibly intricate, and even with genetic similarities, organ rejection remains a significant challenge in the real world. Now let's journey to a galaxy far, far away with Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. Here, we encounter a vast clone army bred for war, raising concerns about the ethics of creating life solely for military purposes. The film grapples with the question of free will and the potential consequences of tampering with the very fabric of life. It makes us wonder, what are the ethical implications of creating sentient beings solely for combat? While Star Wars offers a captivating exploration of cloning on a grand scale, it's crucial to remember that the reality of cloning is far more nuanced. Creating a massive army of genetically identical soldiers, while a compelling narrative device, overlooks the complexities of human development and the unpredictable nature of individual variation. Movies like Splice and the series Orphan Black delve into the unsettling possibilities of human-animal hybrids and the creation of multiple clones, blurring the lines of identity and individuality. These stories often explore the psychological and societal impacts of such scientific advancements. They force us to confront uncomfortable truths about what it means to be human in a world where the boundaries of life are constantly being pushed. While these narratives serve as cautionary tales, it's important to remember that the science of cloning, while rapidly advancing, is still bound by ethical considerations and practical limitations. The creation of chimeras, for instance, while possible to a limited extent in research settings, is tightly regulated and far from the fantastical creatures often depicted in science fiction. From the fantastical realms of science fiction, let's now turn our attention to the concrete world of scientific breakthroughs. And what better place to start than with Dolly the sheep, the first mammal successfully cloned from an adult somatic cell. Born in 1996, Dolly wasn't just any sheep, she was a scientific marvel, a testament to the power of genetic manipulation. Her birth shattered long-held beliefs about the limitations of cellular differentiation. Before Dolly, it was thought that once a cell had differentiated into a specific type, like a skin cell or a muscle cell, it couldn't be reprogrammed to become a whole new organism. Dolly's existence proved otherwise. she demonstrated that the genetic material within the nucleus of an adult cell retains the potential to create an entirely new life, opening up a world of possibilities in the field of biotechnology. Now, Dolly's story is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to cloning. In reality, cloning isn't a one-size-fits-all endeavor. There are different types, each with its own set of techniques and applications. First, we have reproductive cloning, the process used to create Dolly. This type of cloning aims to produce genetically identical copies of an existing organism. Then there's therapeutic cloning, which focuses on creating cloned embryos for the purpose of harvesting stem cells. These stem cells hold immense promise for regenerative medicine, offering potential treatments for a wide range of diseases. And finally, we have gene cloning, a technique used to create copies of specific genes or DNA segments. This method is crucial for genetic research, allowing scientists to study and manipulate individual genes to understand their functions and develop potential gene therapies. Cloning technology, while still in its early stages, has already found practical applications beyond the realm of scientific research. In agriculture, for instance, cloning is being used to replicate high-yielding crops and livestock, promising to revolutionize food production. In conservation efforts, scientists are exploring the possibility of using cloning to revive endangered or even extinct species, offering a glimmer of hope for preserving biodiversity. However, these applications are not without their ethical considerations. The debate surrounding cloning, particularly when it comes to human cloning, is fraught with ethical dilemmas. Concerns range from the potential for genetic defects and shortened lifespans in clones to the societal implications of creating genetically identical individuals. The creation of human clones, while scientifically possible, remains a topic of intense ethical debate, with many countries imposing strict bans on such practices. The prospect of human cloning, while still firmly in the realm of science fiction for now, raises profound ethical questions about the very nature of life, identity, and human dignity. Would a clone be considered an individual in their own right, or merely a copy of the original? What rights and protections would they be entitled to? These are questions that society must grapple with as cloning technology continues to advance. Despite the ethical roadblocks, research into cloning technologies continues to forge ahead, offering tantalizing glimpses into the future of medicine, agriculture, and even conservation. While the full implications of cloning are still unfolding, one thing is certain: this powerful tool has the potential to reshape our world in profound and unpredictable ways. Welcome back, fellow explorers of the cosmos. We've journeyed through the fantastical realm of science fiction and landed firmly in the reality of cloning breakthroughs. Now let's navigate the nebula of ethical considerations and potential benefits, because like a binary star system, this scientific frontier has two sides. On one hand, cloning presents a universe of possibilities. Imagine a future where organ transplantation is no longer hindered by donor lists, where debilitating diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's could be treated with perfectly matched cells. That's the promise of therapeutic cloning, using our own cellular blueprints to heal and regenerate. And what about endangered species teetering on the brink of extinction? Could cloning offer a lifeline, a chance to restore balance to our planet's biodiversity? It's a question scientists are grappling with, weighing the ethics of intervention against the potential for ecological salvation. Of course, like any powerful tool, the possibilities of cloning come with profound responsibilities. We're not just talking about lab protocols and scientific rigor, but about the very essence of life itself, and that's where things get really interesting. Now, I'm a firm believer that the universe operates without a rule book, constantly evolving in a cosmic dance of creation and destruction. But when it comes to manipulating the very building blocks of life, we humans have a responsibility to tread carefully. Reproductive cloning, the idea of creating an identical copy of an existing organism, raises a Pandora's box of ethical dilemmas. What does it mean to have an individual's genetic identity replicated? What rights would a clone have, and how would their existence impact our social fabric? Some argue that every being, regardless of its origin, deserves a chance at life. Others worry about the potential for exploitation, for creating life solely for the purpose of serving another. It's a debate that delves into the very heart of what it means to be human, forcing us to confront our own biases and preconceived notions. And then there's the slippery slope argument. If we perfect the technology to clone humans, where do we draw the line? Could it lead to a future where individuals are created with specific genetic traits, blurring the lines between natural selection and human design? Let's remember, my friends, that the universe thrives on diversity. From the swirling chaos of a nebula to the intricate ecosystems on our own planet, it's the variations, the mutations that drive evolution and adaptation. Cloning, by its very definition, seeks to replicate, to create a carbon copy. But as we've seen with Dolly the sheep and other cloned animals, the process isn't always perfect. Clones can suffer from genetic defects, shortened lifespans, and other health complications, raising concerns about animal welfare and the ethics of bringing a being into the world with potentially compromised health. Furthermore, widespread cloning could potentially reduce genetic diversity, making populations more susceptible to diseases and environmental changes. Imagine a world where everyone is genetically identical. One devastating virus could wipe out the entire species. It's a sobering thought, reminding us that tampering with the delicate balance of nature can have unforeseen consequences. So while the potential benefits of cloning are undeniable, we must proceed with caution, guided by both scientific rigor and ethical responsibility. As we venture further into the 21st century, the debate surrounding cloning will undoubtedly intensify. Advancements in stem cell research, gene editing technologies like CRISPR, and artificial intelligence are rapidly blurring the lines between science fiction and reality. The potential benefits curing diseases, extending lifespans, even resurrecting extinct species are tantalizing. But the ethical and societal implications are equally profound, demanding careful consideration and open dialogue. So my fellow cosmic travelers, as we stand on the precipice of this brave new world, I leave you with this question. Would you want a clone of yourself? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more mind-expanding explorations into the universe of science and technology. Like and share this video if you found it fascinating, and stay tuned for our next episode where we'll delve into the future of cloning and its potential impact on human evolution. Keep looking up! So we've journeyed from the cinematic fantasies of cloned dinosaurs to the very real sheep that was Dolly. But where does cloning go from here? What might the world of cloning look like in the next 50 years? The advancements in stem cell research, AI, and genetic engineering are laying the groundwork for remarkable breakthroughs. Imagine growing perfectly matched organs from your own cells, or giving endangered species a new lease on life through cloning. We must grapple with the ethical implications and ensure responsible use for the benefit of all humankind. One of the most promising areas of research is stem cell biology. Stem cells are like the universe's own starter kit. They can develop into many different cell types in the body. Think of them like multi-purpose tools with interchangeable heads. Stem cells are the ultimate multi-purpose tool of biology. Embryonic stem cells can become any type of cell, while adult stem cells are more specialized. Scientists are excited about stem cells' potential to treat diseases and injuries. Imagine using stem cells to repair heart tissue, or regenerate nerve cells in spinal cord injuries. The possibilities are mind-boggling. Cloning can provide stem cells that match a patient. This involves creating a cloned embryo, but instead of implanting it, the stem cells are harvested to grow new tissues or organs. Now, let's add another layer to this equation: the rapidly evolving fields of artificial intelligence and genetic engineering. AI, with its ability to analyze vast amounts of data and identify patterns, is already revolutionizing many areas of science, and cloning is no exception. Imagine AI algorithms that can optimize cloning techniques, identify the best candidate genes for specific traits, or even predict the success rate of cloning attempts with unprecedented accuracy. That's the power of combining these transformative technologies. And then there's genetic engineering, which allows scientists to precisely alter the genetic makeup of organisms, including clones. With tools like CRISPR-Cas9, we can now edit genes with incredible precision, correcting genetic defects, enhancing desirable traits, or even introducing entirely new genes into an organism's genome. The convergence of cloning, AI, and genetic engineering has the potential to reshape the future of medicine, agriculture, and even conservation efforts. But it also raises profound ethical questions about the limits of genetic manipulation and the potential consequences of tampering with the building blocks of life. As we venture further into the realm of cloning and genetic engineering, we inevitably confront a host of ethical dilemmas. One of the most pressing concerns is the potential for these technologies to exacerbate existing social inequalities. Imagine a future where the wealthy have access to genetic enhancements that make them healthier, smarter, or even physically more attractive. Will this create a genetic divide, further widening the gap between the haves and have-nots? And what about the very definition of human nature? If we can engineer our offspring to be free of certain diseases, why not also select for desirable traits like intelligence, athleticism, or even eye color? Where do we draw the line between therapy and enhancement? These are not easy questions, and there are no simple answers. As we unlock the secrets of life and gain the ability to manipulate it in increasingly sophisticated ways, we must proceed with caution, guided by ethical principles and a deep respect for the sanctity of life. We've explored the world of cloning. This technology has leaped from science fiction to reality, sparking wonder and apprehension. Cloning reflects our deepest fears and aspirations. It forces us to confront questions about life, identity, and our ingenuity. The journey into cloning is a journey into ourselves. Remember, cloning isn't just about creating identical copies of existing organisms. It's a spectrum of possibilities, each with its own set of ethical considerations. Therapeutic cloning, for instance, holds the potential to alleviate human suffering by providing a source of genetically matched cells and tissues for transplantation. Imagine a future where organ rejection is a distant memory, where patients with Parkinson's disease can regain lost motor function, or where spinal cord injuries are no longer a life sentence. These are the promises of therapeutic cloning, and they are worth striving for. But then there's reproductive cloning, the creation of genetically identical copies of existing organisms. This is the type of cloning that raises the most ethical eyebrows, conjuring up images of cloned armies, designer babies, and a world where individuality is sacrificed on the altar of genetic conformity. The truth, as with most things, likely lies somewhere in between these extremes. Cloning, like any powerful technology, is not inherently good or evil. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or ill. Section 3. The Ethical Imperative. As we stand at this crossroads of scientific innovation and ethical deliberation, we must ask ourselves some hard questions. What are the limits of our right to manipulate life? Who gets to decide how these powerful technologies are used? And how do we ensure that the benefits of cloning are shared equitably among all members of society? These are not questions for scientists alone to answer. They are questions that demand a global conversation, a dialogue that includes ethicists, policymakers, religious leaders, and everyday citizens. The future of cloning is not predetermined. It is a future we are actively shaping with each discovery, each innovation, and each ethical choice we make. And the choices we make today will determine the kind of world we bequeath to future generations. So as we conclude our exploration of the captivating world of cloning, I leave you with this question. Would you want a clone of yourself? Think about it. A genetic replica, identical to you in every way. Would you welcome them with open arms, or would the very idea fill you with unease? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe for more mind-expanding explorations into the realms of science and technology. Stay curious, my friends. The universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered. No voiceover, just end screen with subscribe button, social media links, and a preview of the next video.